What's up, everyone? It's I, the Celtic Scarecrow, half awake. I already did this video and I accidentally deleted it, so I need to react to Bricky. Everything Warhammer 40k. It was suggested by Big 8 or 5. Said I was going to do it, and I will do it. So I'm going to break part 1 down to 2 parts, release them on the same day. And yeah, this is going to be a fun one. Headphones. Oh yeah. Leave comments. I tried to do the suggestions. I only had one so far, that's why I'm doing it. I will be murdering things or beating up the mentally ill on Twitch. Develop more YouTube videos. Gotta figure out how to work the pointing. And random crazy ideas on Twitch or sports thingies. I tweet. I also tweet when I go live on Twitch and when new videos pop up. So, without further ado, the first half of part 1 of Everything Warhammer 40k by Bricky. Or not, because the thing... like I said, and now, Everything Warhammer 40k by Bricky. Part 1. Part 1.
As someone who doesn't necessarily serve the Omnissiah, but someone who can appreciate them, you will not be getting my legs today, as I will be replacing them with various things depending on which faction we are currently talking about to add a little bit more context and possible comedy to whatever the hell I am currently doing. So, hello everybody, my name is Bricky, and this is going to be a long video at...
Hey Bricky, you're so fine you're by mine. Hey Bricky. Hey Bricky. I'm sorry, I cut out myself. But if you like this kind of stuff, here is all his stuff. I don't know what side it's on. I'm still getting used to this. Give him a follow. Tell him that I sent you. Help grow this channel. Please, help grow this channel.
And a large project that has been going on for quite some time. This is... I need 2 hands for this. This is every single Warhammer 40k race in kind of a nutshell, explained, a little bit of explanation, a little bit of lore, a little bit of talking about the tabletop, but mostly lore, what they're all about, and also a little bit of background for those of you who just have no clue what Warhammer 40,000 is.
I'm going to pause it there. I'm one of those people. Also, if he starts cursing in the edit, I'll put the warning right here.
Warning. The video you're about to proceed with is not recommended for people who have not leveled up in life far enough. Then again, there are plenty of people who have hit levels 18 and 21 who are still not mentally mature. Therefore, watch it. Don't watch it. You're not my kids. But hell, I at least gave you the warning.
I can't remember if he curses, so hopefully Bricky keeps it clean. No idea. So,
now you see, Warhammer and Warhammer 40,000 is a universe people hear plenty of, but don't know a whole lot about. They see, oh, there's these dudes in big power armor with chainsaw swords, and they got these big old green orcs, and there's some bugs over there. And
I only know that's a tabletop game that some people played at a store that I used to go and play Magic the Gathering. That's right, I played Magic the Gathering.
Everyone calls these guys weebs, and then there's these spiky bitches over here, and I don't get it. I don't understand. Where do I start? Well, this video is particularly for you, or for those of you who have a little bit of knowledge, but you're kind of curious.
I have plenty of hair, and none of it's white, and no wrinkles. And I try not to wear shirts with buttons.
About each of the different races and factions in Warhammer. So overall, the Warhammer universe is vast when it comes to lore and background, and each different faction is so different with the things that they believe in, and some are human, some are transhuman, like where they...
Not sure if we're allowed to say that in this day and age, Bricky. And to the people, don't blame me. He said it, not me, Bricky.
all have all these crazy ass electronics on them. You've got aliens and you've got the chaos factions, and there's so much to
It's Don Vito from the people who grew up watching Viva La Bam.
entail that I decided to embark on this project to tell you what each and every single one of them is about and what the Warhammer universe is about as well, to give at least a little bit of an intro to this extremely bloated but very, very enjoyable world that I and many others partake in. So, I will be explaining every single faction in the Warhammer 40k universe, at least all the factions you can play as, and some small...
Alright, I'm going to break down my version of what I see on screen, which means this will be a lot of stuff that's edited. We have the French symbol, or the Quebec Nordique symbol. You see all the Saints, or the Quebec Nordiques. Avenged Sevenfold. Pissed Off Unicorns. Male Anatomy Trap. Super Jesus. Link. Emo Bands. Bill Cipher. I Hate the Study. That weird version of Bane. A Giant Eye. Vampires. Okay, orcs make sense. No, Link and Avenged Sevenfold. Star Wars. And a Rorschach test. And the one he's blocking is Space Wolf. It works.
Here and there. I will not be discussing absolutely everything in it because that is a little bit much, and I'm not going to go too mega deep into the lore. I'm going to give you a pretty solid overview of each of the different factions and have you learn a little bit about them, and we'll discuss a little bit of the tabletop as well in case you were curious.
That is the form that I know, the tabletop.
About that. But for this episode entirely, we are discussing the Imperium of Man, because that takes up a fat chunk of Warhammer lore.
Don't think anyone should ever do a zoom into face, into teeth range. Not bueno. Not bueno.
What is Warhammer 40,000? Well, the 40,000 starts off is the year 40,000. The 41st millennium, that's where it takes place, is in the year 40,000, 41,000 AD. You're already more knowledgeable. Let me read you a quote, first of many quotes in this video.
So I guess global warming doesn't happen. Also, like I said, already watched this, accidentally deleted it, and now I'm rewatching it because I promised to get this out. Just picture every quote done by Trump. It can be hilarious when you hear it that way.
It is the 41st millennium. For more than 100 years, the Emperor has sat immobile on the golden throne of Earth. He is the master of mankind by the will of the gods, and master of 1,000,000 worlds by the might of his inexhaustible armies. He is a rotting carcass, writhing invisibly with power from the dark age of technology. He is the carrion lord of the Imperium, for whom 1,000 souls are sacrificed every day so that he may never truly die. To be a man in such times is to be amongst untold billions. It is to live in the cruelest and most bloody regime imaginable. These are the tales of those times. Forget the power of technology and science, for so much has been forgotten, never to be relearned. Forget the promise of progress and understanding, for in the grim, dark future, there is only war. There is no peace amongst the stars, only an eternity of carnage and slaughter, and the laughter of thirsting gods. Everything blows, and it blows fucking hard. Warhammer is probably the...
Bride of Frankenstein gets really aggressive in this photo.
The most dark and depressing universes ever in fiction, or at least like top 3. Everything is so absurdly horrible, destructive, or overpowered that it all kind of ends up canceling itself out. It's like Dota. War rages across the galaxy. Interstellar travel is only possible due to sacrificing 1,000 souls a day to a rotting carcass of a man who you believe to
He looks like the Earth Mover from Batman Beyond. Insert photo.
be your god. Demonic gods and just demons tear open the fabric of reality on a whim. Other Xenos or even other humans end up killing each other in untold billions across the galaxy. It is a time of unending war, slaughter, and a bloodbath amongst everybody. Planets are deemed unrecoverable and are completely destroyed on a whim. Everything sucks, but that's like the charm of it. See, everything in Warhammer is evil.
It's like Twitter.
And Twitter is a cult.
That's right, I said it.
But being evil is kind of fun. Like, humanity, in its own right, is a xenophobic, prejudice, and religious zealot group that kill each other just as much as they kill all of their enemies. And they're like mid to high tier evil on the evil scale of Warhammer. Nobody is good. No matter who you are, everyone is some flavor, some color of evil. Whoever you pick, you are going to be the bad guy. But that's the fun of it. Because being the bad guy is badass. Villains are cool. They look cool, they got cool outfits,
It's Elden Rings. Come on, we're not the bad guys. We just randomly pop up into a random plane of existence and start slaughtering everything. Guards just standing perfectly still. Kill them. Planets just trying to be plants. Kill them. Wolves. What are we, the ATF? Come on. I know, it's a Brent Herrera joke and I make it often. At some point someone will laugh at it and share it to them.
cool weapons, they got cool armies. Villains are cool, man. And when everyone is a villain, everyone is pretty cool. That's what makes this so charming, is that everyone can be the bad guy. So let's start off
Rest in peace, Razor Ramon.
talking about the main bad guy, quote unquote, the Imperium of Man.
It's hair, whack, it's gear.
Skipping ad breaks. Or do I just insert my own ads?
If I had one!
Oh yeah. That's right, I don't have one.
Whack!
The Imperium of Man is the main empire of the human race. All of humanity is under the Imperium of Man.
Is it kind of bad that they use, like, what looks to be the Russian double eagle? This game's been around for a while. Hold on. Pause for editing. Back from Google search. The game's older than I am. So, by a year, so you want to figure out how old I am, just look up Warhammer 40k, you'll realize it's not that much older than me.
Man is the main empire of the human race. All of humanity is under this one flag called the Imperium. And about 10,000 years ago, there was a man. He was the emperor of mankind, a 10-foot tall psychic demigod who led humanity across the stars to colonize tons and tons of worlds, create superhuman soldiers, and really bring humanity into a new age. This man, the Emperor of Mankind, was a psyker. And a psyker is like a magician of sorts. In the world of 40k, there is the warp, the immaterium, kind of like hell, but sort of like a purgatory dimension of hell. And a psyker is someone who can take that power and manifest it through their mind to use it to do stuff, like witchcraft stuff, magician stuff, spells, and lots of other things, but we don't want to get too into that. The Emperor, big boy psyker, top tier, A+, maybe even S.
Oh, I wonder where they got the idea of donating, just giving him souls. Look at this thing. These are just skulls. And just go right to his armor. Oh, he likes skulls, so let's donate lives to him.
Now, the Emperor created a bunch of sons. Yes, created a bunch of sons known as the Primarchs. He created 18 Primarchs to have...
This guy looks like is like the perfect avatar for my buddy Blake. Blake, if you ever watch this, you know I'm right.
Have them lead all of the different legions of humanity to the different stars and plans to help colonize and bring it out. These Primarchs are basically like little versions of the Emperor. Not all of them are psychers, but a lot of them are very, very powerful, and they lead his special Space Marine legions. Then this big clusterfuck happened called the Horus Heresy.
Yeah, I had to add in the warning, because he just cursed. Thanks, Bricky. Trying to keep a somewhat clean channel. Oh, wait, I did a Best of Leonard Kenny. Yeah, never mind. I can't blame you, Bricky.
Where the Emperor's favorite son, the Primarch, Horus, ended up joining Chaos and leading 9 other, well, I guess...
Really, Chaos? You had Naito, you had Shinsuke Nakamura, and now you add this guy. God damn you. Go.
9 of the 18, half of his Primarchs directly to Earth to fight down the Emperor himself. Now, if you want to know what Chaos is, remember what I mentioned earlier, the warp, that immaterium, the hellish place? In there relies the 4 Chaos gods. Imagine...
So it's more or less the 4 horsemen. White, conquest. Red, war. Black, sometimes famine / pestilence, and of course the Pale Rider of Death. Yeah, Death. That's the order I'm going with.
Like Satan and 3 other Satans. The warp being kind of evil, those Chaos gods, that's the reason. And so those Chaos gods manipulated Horus, and then Horus helped manipulate all 8 other Primarchs to lead this giant coup directly on the Emperor on Earth. And they fucked up shit. After this huge civil
Caesar! It's the story of Caesar.
war,
Kind of.
Horus died, but not before brutally wounding the Emperor, and right at the end of his life, they put the Emperor on this large golden throne on Earth in
Earth Mover. Batman Beyond. Good series. Good series. Did the Batman universe well.
which he is now alive, just barely, but slowly rotting away, powering something called the Astronomicon, so long as he
Probably where they got it
stays
from.
alive, and is fed 1,000 people a day. The Astronomicon
Not
is
that
like
far.
the North Star. If you want to do interstellar travel in 40K, you need to pass through that demonic warp I mentioned earlier. But how do you know where you're going? Well, the Emperor is there putting a nice little navigator right there. He helps navigate you to know where you're going. If you want to
Most people call that a waypoint, Bricky. A waypoint.
go from Earth to some crazy solar system across the way, you need to go through that warp, and then you need to know where you're going, go through there, and pop your way out. It's like doing nether travel in Minecraft, so you can shorten the distance between going to areas. So long as the Emperor is alive and being fed 1,000 people a day to stay alive, you can do that. The moment he dies, interstellar travel's gone for all of humanity. You're so boned. Now, since the Horus Heresy 10,000 years ago, the Imperium has fallen from grace substantially. All technology has started to dwindle and die. There is now giant fundamental religious extremists that now believe the Emperor of Mankind was a deity, a true living god, which is probably the last thing the Emperor...
Yes, because there's not historical references of that on Earth. Not going to name any specific religious groups. Even though if you could technically hit this reign, but yeah.
would have wanted to be remembered for. So now you have this thing called the Ecclesiarchy, which is this giant church entirely devoted to spreading the good word of the Emperor.
How much gold did that thing take to build? And
he is now the Holy Emperor God, the God Emperor of mankind, and all of the Imperium has taken up worshiping him to the fullest extent and killing anything that isn't humanity in his name. The Imperium has this futuristic Gothic tone to it and a hefty religious zealotry to them. If you think anything against the Emperor, that's heresy and you deserve to die. That is called being a heretic. heretics die in 40K. There is no such thing as freedom of religion. There is no such thing as freedom of speech, so long as you...
It's Canada currently. Tell me I'm wrong. Guy got arrested for making a joke, and a priest, I think he's a priest, a religious figure, got arrested for opening his church. It's currently Canada.
You are against the emperor. There is no such thing as any kind of tolerance. Everyone is a religious zealot. Some more than others, but no matter what, you're preaching that good word. So right now, everyone in humanity is trying to expand their empire across the stars. If you are a heretic, someone who doesn't believe in the emperor, you are deserving of death. If you believe in the chaos gods, you are also a heretic and you deserve death. If you are an alien race of any kind, you are a filthy Xenos and you deserve death as well. So long as the murder continues and humanity expands, the Imperium of Man is very, very happy. However, the largest fighting force of this Imperium is my personal favorite faction, and the first faction we will discuss.
I mean, it's in. He's finally talking about different factions. Brief pause. Put the fell asleep. Sorry, waking my foot up.
The Astra Militarum, or also known as the
The Germans. Come on. Very German-ish.
Imperial Guard.
Pretty shit now, man. You finished? That's it, man. Game over, man.
The Imperial Guard is the main fighting force of the Imperium, and in a world of horrifying creatures, galactic monstrosities, the literal demons themselves breaking through...
Shout out to the 609 tank. If you know, you know. That's all I gotta say.
The fabric of time to kill you, the Imperial Guard are untold billions of regular men and women wearing modern day like flak armor with a laser rifle. This is the humble las gun, the main weapon of the Imperial Guard. It fires superheated plasma lasers at an extremely fast fire rate. It is reliable, never jams. It can blow off limbs, giant holes in concrete. It is overall an extremely devastating weapon in modern day. It is one of the weakest in the 40K universe. Yeah, a laser rifle that never jams, it could blow off limbs, one of the weakest weapons. That's the world we're in right now. But who cares? Because
I would still take one. They have one of those tanks too.
the Imperial Guard has in each battle 500,000 of these men and women, 30,000 large armored tanks, 10,000 artillery batteries. The Imperial Guard wins through sheer numbers and firepower. They kind of have this World War I, World War II style aesthetic with legions of guardsmen as well as high company commanders and generals on the field along with them, and multiple kinds of troops. A normal Imperial Guard battle starts off with artillery, long lines of artillery, cracking the crust of the planet underneath the enemy's feet. And as this barrage continues, hundreds of thousands of guardsmen, a sea of guardsmen, surges forward, firing and charging at everything possible while the planet rumbles as tanks roll up behind them. Gunships block out the sun and
Feel bad for that guy, you know. Hey, yeah, here's this crap rifle. We're gonna blow stuff up around you. We just want you to bum rush in, and hopefully we don't hit you with friendly fire. Caboose.
and tanks block out the dirt with the steps and hoof prints of millions of guards.
Hey, another ad. And we're back at averted, and I'm not inserting my little thing here.
Through numbers and sheer sundering firepower, they are the first and last line of defense for the Imperium and make up a huge bulk of the battles. The Imperial Guard is also made up of tons of different kinds of regiments. The Catachin Jungle Fight.
Rambo! which I really feel bad for. They get no armor.
Fighters live in a death world that's more hospitable than almost any firefight they'll ever get into. So they just have this steroid-looking, giant knife, Rambo Predator-looking sons of bitches where nothing is anywhere near as scary as a simple night on their home planet. You have the Valhallan Winter Soldiers who haven't felt their toes in 300 years, the Mordian Iron Guard.
They're French. I'm not that worried about the French.
Who are more interested in making their shoes shine than actually fighting a battle. And then, of course, the big one, the Cadians.
The Germans. I'll look up old school German War on propaganda films.
From Cadia. The biggest export of guardsmen in the entirety of the Imperium. You will fire your first gun at 5. You will disassemble and reassemble it at 10. You will have pounding artillery drills day in and day out at 15. And you'll fight your first swarm lord at 16. And if you mention Cadia, you will burst into an unrelenting amount of tears and sadness like I do daily. To quote, I have at my command an entire...
This is one of those quotes that I would want to hear Trump say. Picture Trump's voice.
Battle group of the Imperial Guard, 50 regiments including specialized drop troops, stealthers, mechanized formations.
50 regiments including specialized drop troops, stealthers, mechanized formed armor companies, combat engineers, and mobile artillery over the millions. I don't know how good my Trump impersonation is, but come on, this is be hilarious in Trump's voice. Maybe Morgan Freeman's because he's so calm and it's just so violent.
Armored companies, combat engineers, and mobile artillery. Over 500,000 fighting men and 30,000 tanks and artillery pieces are mine to command. Emperor, show mercy to the fool that stands against me, for I shall not. The Imperial Guard are my personal favorite faction in 40k. They're the army I collect the most, the ones I enjoy playing the most, and the one I enjoy in the lore sense a lot. There's something about just a regular man with a laser rifle being told to charge the horrors of this universe and willingly doing so for his god emperor. It's just poetic. They actually represent...
It's stupid. Regardless of reality, stupid. Defend your homeland from invaders, that's different. We'll give you points there.
The main Imperial Guard tactics pretty well. Large amounts of artillery that doesn't require a line of sight, lots of tanks, tons of infantry, drop troops, and gunships. Overall, they're pretty similar to how they sound, though a little bit expensive to collect, unfortunately.
Ladies and gentlemen, General Bison from Street Fighters. Or is it Major Bison? M. Bison.
And they don't hit a lot. They have a bit of a bad aim, but you don't really care because you're just drowning them in shots. However, if you want more accurate fire and specialization, we can move on to talk about Space Marines. The Angels of Death are up next. Space Marines are genetically engineered super...
Okay, Warhammer, why is the Angel of Death red? That should be like light gray or weirdly lightly green. Come on, new head. Disappointment. Face of disappointment.
Super soldiers and superhumans. They're given...
You deserve the cone of shame.
Extra organs, their skin tissue is toughened, their bones are stronger, they're taller than the average person. They're pretty massive people, and these are the specialized super soldiers that carry out a lot of the more specific tasks for the Imperium, and there's tons of legions of them. In fact, there's one per Primarch. Each Primarch, the Emperor's son, as I mentioned before, oversees their legion of Space Marines. The genetic upgrade they get is based on the genes of of said Primarch, something called a gene seed. That's what brings them up to this like superhuman level. As stated, each Primarch has their own legion. Robot Girly Man has the Ultramarines, Jagatai Khan has the White Scars, Rogel Dorn has the Imperial Fists, Corvus Corax has the Raven Guard. There's a whole bunch of other side sections that are also extremely interesting and have a little bit more of a twist on the average Space Marines, which we will discuss in a bit. Humorously enough, I don't have a whole lot to say about Space Marines. They're superhumanly fast. In fact, it's been said that nothing that large should move that quick. These men in power armor moving at blazing fast speeds. Their reflexes are faster. Their skin is tougher. They are overall just extremely powerful soldiers. In fact, where they differ comes down to which Space Marine Legion we're talking about. For instance, the Ultramarines done by Robot Gilliman,
Super creative
are the main blue
Ultramarines.
boys. Strong in almost every way. The jack of all trades kind of group that are a little bit too strong, and that's a lore problem. But the White Scars by Jagatai Khan are all about speed freaks, go fast. We're talking attack bikes. We're talking land speeders. You want to go in quick.
I wouldn't mind a battle bike like that. Come on.
You want to hit them hard. You want them to be swarming around like buzzflies, buzzsaws, with the speed of buzzsaws.
Nice shy. They want to cut through them like buzzsaws.
Fuck you, Pale King. Salamanders love fire. Fire in the forest.
If you want to see me play Hollow Knight, leave a suggestion, and then I'll potentially play that on Twitch. Put in the comment section. Play Hollow Knight.
Fire in battle. Flamers, melta-guns, multi-meltas. Just so long as something can be burning, that's big. And they're also actually some of the nicest of the Space Marines. A lot of Space Marines have this kind of like holier-than-thou thing because of their genetic strength. However, the Salamanders tend to put human lives above the lives of themselves, which is actually rather rare. They're also all black, but not like just regular black, like 2 a.m. line.
Berkey. Stop. You're just digging yourself a hole. Stop digging yourself a hole.
At a White Castle. Black. Like they have a charcoal, dark, ashy exterior and blazing red eyes. Apparently something about living on their home planet of Nocturne, which I don't know if that makes much sense, but who cares? This is like fantasy land anyway. Overall, Salamanders are actually one of my personal favorite legions because they're just really cool. They're fun to play as because of all their flamer weapons, and they have a nice, like, more heartwarming lore as opposed to being super evil like everyone else is. Oh my god, we're not even a quarter of the way through the Space Marine legions.
Yeah, you heard him. Not even a quarter. Not even 20 minutes in. Probably one more group that should hit the halfway point.
Imperial Fists believe in the power of the siege and defensive positions. Raven Guards, master of stealth and sabotage.
They're called Raven Guard. Of course, they're master of stealth.
While having bird helmets. Iron Hands, masters of machines and vehicles, while being really goddamn good at being sold on eBay after one nerf. Space Wolves, Vikings.
They actually look pretty cool. If the Dark Spheres look like this, I might pick up one and make it my own. Never play it.
And wolves, and tons of wolves, and axes, battle axes.
Gotta love the puppies.
Fur everywhere, space wolves, angry, big teeth, blood angels, the genetic defect to make them want to drink blood and go crazy called the red thirst.
Vampires.
They have cupid wings and stuff, which is a little bit strange, and they are all super gay for Sanguinius. Dark angels are old school knights and inner circle theme, and...
Are you a heretic?
Me? No, never. Once in the blue moon, I know.
Death Watch, a fancy anti-Xenos group that nobody plays because Death Watch, and they look cool though, but no one plays them. I don't know about Death Watch. They're there though. Black Templars, for the people who, if you haven't prayed at least 3 times a day, you're gonna start praying out that airlock. And
they're Muslims. They pray 5 times a day. Not insulting them, just saying. Muslim faith, I think one of their rules or requirements is pray 5 times a day. That's commitment. I'll give you points for commitment.
I'm sure there's some other chapters I may have missed as well, like Crimson Fists and stuff, but those are the main ones right here. Here, quote, from the Emperor himself. They shall be my finest warriors, these men who give of themselves to me. Like clay I shall mold them, and in the furnace of war I shall forge them. They shall be of iron will and steely sinew. In great armor I shall clad them, and with the mightiest weapons shall they be armed. They will be untouched by plague or disease, no sickness shall blight them. They shall have such tactics, strategies, and machines that no foe will best them in battle. They are my bulwark against the terror. They are my defenders of humanity. They are my space marines, and they shall know no fear. And on the tabletop, they fuck. Oh, they fuck hard. As of making this video, Space Marines are laughably strong. That might change at some point, but overall, Space Marines just have it's like a Swiss Army knife, a tool for anything you need, except it's like a gold-plated Swiss Army knife. It is extremely strong. If you are actually getting into the tabletop of Warhammer, Space Marines are a great start. Also, whatever gameplay style you have, whether you want to be sit back with long range and heavy weaponry, go fast and run in, or even just full melee, all of these options are totally there for you. Space Marines are super badass. But unfortunately, it's time we start praying to our new god, the 2011 Honda Civic.
So is it any
Yeah, we'll do this. The last group
wonder
video.
people are afraid of technology?
Technology! The Adeptus Mechanicus. The Adeptus Mechanicus are a technophile cult on Mars. Now, these people are a little bit weird because they don't actually really believe in the Emperor of Mankind. And you might think, oh, whoa, Berkey, that sounds like some heresy. A little bit. They believe in the Emperor, they believe in his power, but they don't pray to him. They pray to something called the Omnissiah. And the Omnissiah...
Similar to how Jewish people say Jesus was real, but they don't see him as the Son of God. Similar mindsets, from what I can understand. You do you. That's all I gotta say.
Messiah is this kind of machine god that they believe permeates in all machines. And if you think, well, wait a minute, they believe in a different god as well? That sounds like super heresy. Well, yes-ish, but they also make all your guns, and they make all your tanks, and they make
They make a giant building with a face on it.
everything that you have, so you can't really tell them to fuck off, because you're not going to win nothing if you don't got stuff to shoot people with. See, their Omnissiah at least makes sense from their standpoint. They believe
that at least looks like a really cool logo.
Believe it to be a deity that permeates through all machines. Your Honda Civic, your standard bolt gun, your
I have a feeling he owns a Honda Civic.
Dune Strider Walker, your giant mechs, your huge ships. The Omnissiah is present through all. And the only reason your stuff works is because the machine's spirit in it says it works. If you want your gun to work, your tank to run, you must pray to it. And I mean full stop. You need to start chanting in high Gothic. You need to burn incense. You need to sit on your knees and pray to that car. You need to rub oil on your robes.
Definitely sounds like he owns a Honda Civic.
And you need to go, homina, 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 homina. Full stop. If you want your damn thing to work, if you want your gun to fire, you need to do that. They are very bizarre, and they actually have a bit of a point because it's obviously working. And if you look at them, I don't know how that works, so they obviously know something about what they're doing. The most notable member of the Adeptus Mechanicus is Magos, whatever, Belisarius Call. Look at this dude. Look at this dude. Yeah, this is the group we're talking about. These are these weirdos. Here, the Omnissiah Creed. The credo, Omnissiah. There is no truth in flesh, only betrayal. There is no strength in flesh, only weakness. There is no constancy in flesh, only decay. There is no certainty in flesh, but death.
They're like the one bad guy from Teen Titans. The good version. Not Teen Titans Go with try to replace cyborgs, human parts with robot parts. Insert clip.
Do not resist. It is for the best.
No, it isn't! If you take out my biological components, you take out the best part of me. The part that makes me who I am.
Your memories, yourself, will be preserved. I will download them into your new brain.
No, you can't do this, please! You don't understand!
And back up.
Flesh is weakness, flesh is death. The Omnissiah is the god of the machines, and if you wish to be whole, if you wish to be holy, if you wish to give unto him, you must saw down your limbs and remove your organs and replace them with mechanical parts, because that is what he wants, and that is how you will become enlightened. Hard technophiles mixed with religious extremism. Dentus Mechanicus. Now, for their army side of things, they are with the Skitarii. The Skitarii operate with very bizarre weaponry and lots of different kinds of vehicles, tanks, and different people in between. They're very weird, but they have
Nothing wrong with being weird, as long as it's effective.
extremely wacky and enjoyable, and in fact quite effective both in the real game and in the lore, weaponry and gear. Overall, as an army on the tabletop, they're very weird and have a whole bunch of different shenanigans, but if you like kind of that quirky, wacky techno thing, I'd give them a pickup. Hell, they're so paranoid. I gotta keep going. They're so paranoid and crazy. These Dune Striders you see right here, one guy was able to make them work. One guy, and he died. And they're so scared they'll never work again that they keep them on and they never turn them off, and they run around in a circle the whole time until they need them, and then they corral it and they go to battle. Yep. The Adeptus Mechanicus. Now, if you want to talk about faith, though,
I will stop there. The end of part 1 of Everything Warhammer, part 1 by Bricky. He should have made part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. 25-minute clips. No, he goes all in one. I'm going to give you a break. So, you want to see more videos like this? YouTube. Want to see me hurt things? Twitch when I play video games. Keep up to date with all my stuff on Twitter. Follow me on all those. Help grow this channel. Leave comments. I try to respond. Give me suggestions. I already stopped it. No, I didn't. Cursor was over. It looked like I stopped it. So, till next time, I'll see you weird people later.